is reading session. We are reading from Srila Prabhupāda's book, Elevation to Kṛṣṇa Consciousness. And today is the 13th session, and today's theme is Perplexed. At some point of time in our lives, we are confused, we are perplexed about what to be done. So today's session is going to cover a few important instructions given by Srila Prabhupada as revealed in the Bhagavad-Gītā about why do we get perplexed and how to come out of this perplexed situation. With a few prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare. Welcome all of you once again for today's session. So today's session will be in the form of a book reading activity as we have been doing every week. So let us begin the session. Perplexed. Yes, so the first, we dedicate this session to our beloved spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who spread the profound message of Bhagavad-Gītā, Kṛṣṇa Consciousness, all over the world. So today's session is based on the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, so we dedicate this to him. So let's see the first part of today's session, Perplexed. I want all of you to please think about this. What are intellectuals attempting by their plans and designs? Today we see the whole world, there are many intellectuals, many intelligent people who are actually attempting various things. They make plans, schemes, they come up with new ideas. So what are they attempting basically through their plans and schemes? So who would like to give your input on this before we read? Anybody can give your inputs. You can just unmute yourself and speak up. Vikas Singh, could you please speak on this? What do you think the modern day intellectual class of people are trying to do? Vikas, are you there? Okay. Guru Prasad, can you please speak?
Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, Prabhu, sorry to say, but I still, this question didn't clarify it. That's why I try to answer.
No. Okay, I'll try to explain, elaborate this. Today, there are many scientists, many intelligent people who are planning to do so many things in this world.
Mm-hmm.
What are they basically attempting towards?
Okay, that is Tamjamudi meeting. So basically, they are trying to find the different creativity in their daily life activities.
Okay, so they're trying to explore their creativity.
Right,
okay.
the creativity what they see in the nature.
Okay. Anybody else would like to give your inputs?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Ashish here.
Hare Krishna, Ashish.
Prabhu, mainly intellectual peoples are looking like how we can make more comfortable to our life and our human society. We can develop something that will be more facilitated. Yes. It may be, we can take maybe transport, maybe luxury homes, it may be digital, any equipment, whatever things will develop, it will be more comfortable first. And second point, I can suggest Prabhu, like how we can protect ourselves, like how to how we can overcome the enemies by creating like more technical instruments or weapons, like. So these are the two things I believe like more intellectual people look for currently.
Very nice. Very well said, Ashish. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the
Thank you,
wonderful point. So
thank
let's
you,
go to
Prabhu.
what Srila Prabhupada says. Let us read the content from the book Elevation to Krishna Consciousness in this connection. The miseries of life are divided into three categories, namely miseries arising from the body and mind, miseries arising from other living entities, and miseries arising due to natural calamity. A sane man must look to eliminate these miseries and thereby become happy in life. We are all trying to achieve peace and freedom from these miseries, at least unconsciously, and in the higher intellectual circles, there are attempts to get rid of these miseries by ingenious plans and design. So as Ashish was telling, that all of us, we are going through a lot of problems, but we want to, the intellectuals are busy trying to get rid of these problems, these miseries, through their plans and designs. For example, as Ashish mentioned, so there are many countries which are stockpiling nuclear weapons. So very intelligent people are finding out newer and newer methods of producing these weapons, and it is an attempt made by the countries to show their supremacy and to give a warning to the enemies that they consider their enemies, that look, we are powerful, don't meddle with us. So everybody in this world facing a lot of miseries, and the intellectuals are coming up with so many ideas to uh, to solve or to help people become free from those miseries. So basically, as Prabhupada says, every sane man tries to eliminate these miseries and thereby become happy in life. So happiness is the goal. Let's move forward. Here's another question for all of you following here. Why are their plans baffled? Is it accidental? So who would like to speak on this? So even though a lot of intellectuals are making plans, attempting to reduce the miseries, still we see that their plans are baffled. Their plans are not working out. Why is it so? And is this accidental? Who would like to speak? Please feel free to contribute your points. Don't bother whether it is right or wrong. It's just your opinion. Please contribute. It's going to add a lot of value to this session you're speaking. So who would like to speak? Unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, anybody?
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, these
Hare
intellectuals
Krishna,
and
Vikas.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. They don't want to accept that this place is a play like this place is full of misery. No matter how advanced we get or whatever technology we invent, we are not going to stop crises like war or natural disasters or even poverty and all, because this
Yeah.
world has been created in that way. As it is said in Bhagavad-Gītā, that this is dukhalema shasvatam. No matter how much and they don't want to accept it. So that's
Mm,
why they are keep on inventing something new, and they are keep on giving their theories, some new theories, and but eventually that theory is not something that will make advancement or will make a peaceful world. Maybe.
well, thank you for your wonderful inputs. Thank you, Vikas. Yes, basically you're saying it's not accidental because people, the intellectuals are planning, they have not realized something very important, that this world is Dukhalayam, it's a place of misery. That's what you're saying. Let's see what Srila Prabhupada mentions in this connection. Srila Prabhupada says, but the power that baffles all the plans and designs of even the most intelligent person is the power of Maya Devi, or the illusory energy. The law of karma, or the result of all actions and reactions in the material world, is controlled by this all-powerful illusory energy. The activities of this energy function according to principles and regulations, and they act consciously under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Everything is done by nature in full consciousness. Nothing is blind or accidental. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying why the plans of people, intellectuals, are failing. Their plans are failing on account of the greater strength of Maya, the illusory energy. And there is the law of karma which is in place. Law of karma deals with awarding reactions to all the activities done by each and every individual in this world. And this law of karma is insurmountable, and it is controlled by Maya, illusory energy, very, very powerful. So Maya has set limits. Maya is in control of the whole material world, and there is a particular plan behind the design and control functioning of this world. And simply by our planning, our scheming, we cannot actually overcome this powerful illusory energy. It is not possible simply by our own attempts. This is a very important understanding which is lacking currently, unfortunately. So people are no doubt working very hard to improve their conditions. People have all good intentions that everybody should be happy, there should be peace in the society. But the problem is because they have not understood that there are laws of karma operating, and the activities of this law of this illusory energy function according to the principles and regulations, and they act consciously under the direction of the Supreme Lord. So because these plans are against the laws of karma, therefore laws of karma don't allow these plans to become successfully executed. And ultimately there is the Supreme Lord under whom all of these things are working. The illusory energy is working. So it is not accidental. Nothing is happening in this world accidentally. It is all done by the superior intelligence of the Supreme Lord. So this is a very important thing that Srila Prabhupada mentions here. Moving forward, let's go to the third part of today's session. What is illusory material energy? What is it exactly? Now, who would like to contribute? Contribute your points. What do you mean by illusory material energy? Anyone can contribute. Just unmute yourself and speak up. We are seeing that you are actually, all the participants are giving wonderful answers, and it is actually adding on to our knowledge in today's session. So please request everyone to participate. Yes, Guru Prasad.
Yes,
Were you there?
thank you. Yes, bro. The very first thing I want to say, the illusion, first of all, is not there in the soul, but the illusion is there in the mind, the mind which is contaminated. And illusory material energy, that means we think that we are matter, but we are not spirit. The very first thing we take that as a body. So body is just a matter. So that is the very first thing in the illusory material energy. And second thing is I'm this body, and this is all to all. There is nothing beyond this. So this is one of illusion. So everything is coming from the mind. So that's how the illusory material energy created in our consciousness. Yes.
Good. Nice. you're basically talking about how a person in illusion thinks. A person under the influence of illusory material energy identifies himself with the body. Okay. But what exactly is this illusory material energy? Anybody else would like to contribute?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Ashish here, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Ashish. Yes.
Uh, yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I understand that illusory energy is nothing like, first of all, which diverts our thoughts, or we can say minds, like whatever we think, suppose positive thing or something good thing, but it totally diverts our thoughts. And secondly, I can say like the energy which attracts us for something, but something it attracts for something which is not attractable for a long term, or something we can say in that scenario. Or and also we can say the energy which is which is not giving that happiness permanently, like it is something temporary, but it is still it is
Okay. So let us see thank you, Ashish, for your points. Let us see what Srila Prabhupada says. What is illusory material energy? This material energy is also called Durga, which indicates that it is a force which is very difficult to surpass. No one can surpass the laws of Durga by any amount of childish plan. To get rid of the sufferings of humanity is simultaneously a very difficult and also a very easy affair. As long as the conditioned souls who are themselves bound up by the laws of nature manufacture plans to get rid of the three miseries, there will be no solution. So basically, as you can see in the picture here, a person standing in front of the mirror thinks himself to be Superman. That means he is thinking something which he is actually not. This is Maya, this is illusion, and this is uh, indicated by the Sanskrit word Durga. Durga means fort, or something which is very difficult to surpass. So by our own childish plans, so Prabhupada is indirectly saying that the plans made by all the so-called intellectuals of the world without proper understanding of how the illusory material energy is working and how the laws of nature are working, whatever plans they make without the knowledge of these two things, they are simply childish people. So Prabhupada is making a statement here. To get rid of the sufferings of humanity is simultaneously a very difficult and also a very easy affair. So when is it difficult and when is it easy? So here the difficult part is told here. Prabhupada is saying, as long as we keep manufacturing our own plans to get rid of the miseries, it will be a difficult affair. There will be no solution. We'll be simply baffled, confused, right? So now how is it easy? That we will discuss in the next slide. But as of now, we have to understand that by simply manufacturing our own plans and ideas and schemes, we cannot simply overcome the miseries of this world. Simply by technological advancement, if we are thinking that we will become happy one day and there will be no more miseries, no, we are mistaken. It's not the case. Because the laws of nature are very stringent and these miseries are bound to come, whatever may be the advancement of technology and science. So then what is the easy way to overcome the miseries of this world? Let's try to discuss that in the next, moving forward in the next session, in the next slide. So what is the way out of sufferings? Now, before I read out what Srila Prabhupada mentioned, can some of you suggest what is that way out of suffering? So far we have understood that by our own intellectual plans and schemes, it's not possible to overcome suffering. Then what is the way? So who would like to speak on this?
Hare Krishna
What is
Prabhu.
the way out of suffering? Yes, Hare Krishna, Santosh.
This is Ishan.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Ishan. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Ishan.
I just want to say that the only way out of suffering is to believe in the omnipotent who is omnipresent, that is Lord Sri Krishna, and just believe in him, in his power, in his abilities, no matter how difficult the situation is, how difficult the times are, in respect to a particular person, maybe when he's struggling, say, in his job or in his financial condition, or probably a student who is struggling with his exams. Whoever is struggling, or even if someone is not struggling, that time also one should remember the Supreme Lord. And if someone is struggling, then of course he should remember by default. So I've read somewhere that
Okay.
some devotees say that when the moments of happiness comes, people tend to forget the Lord. So those who are devotees, they say that it's better to be in pain or in suffering so that they can remember the Lord all the time. So that's the
Okay. Oh,
motive of a devotee. So only way out of suffering is remembering the Lord, and the Lord has plans for everyone, and the Lord will save him or her depending on his karma and depending on the level of devotion of that particular person.
okay. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Ishan, for that answer. So anybody else would like to contribute? What is the way out of suffering? Anybody else? Please
To
share.
uh, Ishan's comment, uh, first of all, we'll have to, as Prabhupada says, that first of all, we'll have to understand that we are not his body and we are part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna.
Okay.
And after understanding it, we have to engage in devotional services. That
Okay.
will include devotee
Mm-hmm.
association, reading scriptures, and following the and following the scriptures and all, like Ekadasi and all the brothers. But first of all, we'll have to understand that we are not his body and we have to serve Krishna and we are his like permanent servants. So that is our
Mm.
solution. So that in that way,
Okay.
we
Very
will.
nice. Very nice. Thank you for those wonderful points, Vikas. Let us read what Srila Prabhupada says now. What is the way out of suffering? The only effective solutions are those mentioned in the Bhagavad-Gītā, Prabhupada says, and we have to adopt them in our practical lives for our own benefit. The three miseries of material nature are not found in the pastimes of the Supreme Law. You remember last session was Acts of God. We were talking about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, and we saw that the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are transcendental, above the laws of material nature. Therefore, here Prabhupada is reiterating this point. The three miseries of material nature are not found in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, in the Leelas of the Lord. As mentioned before, he is eternally joyful, and his transcendental pastimes are not different from him because he is the absolute truth. His name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes are all identical with him. His pastimes, therefore, cannot be equated with the sufferings of humanity as the so-called Swami contends. The pastimes of the Supreme Lord are transcendental to the actual miseries and sufferings of human beings. So what is the way out of all these sufferings? The way out of all these sufferings is to adopt the Bhagavad-Gītā lifestyle. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gītā, Man mana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Just do these four things. Always remember me and become my devotee, worship me, and offer your respects unto me. Just by doing these four things, Krishna is promising us that if you do these four things effectively, I promise that you'll come back to me, to the world of bliss, from the world of suffering. Now, but somebody may say, oh, till the end of my life, I have to, how will I come out of this suffering? So this is going to happen at the end of my life, going back to Krishna. What about now? Yes, the point is good, valid point. Now, the answer to this is, even while we are performing devotional service in this world, by realizing spiritual message, by practicing these devotional activities, we elevate our consciousness, by which we will not be affected by the miseries or suffering. Consciousness is elevated to a spiritual platform where we are in a state of bliss by constantly remembering Krishna, by serving Krishna, and by surrendering unto Him. So therefore, that is the way out of all suffering. Sufferings in this world have a purpose. The purpose, as someone pointed out initially, is sufferings can become an impetus for us to question why these sufferings? How can I become truly happy? And when one is inquisitive and when one approaches a bona fide spiritual master, the spiritual master gives him directions on how to actually become free from suffering by adopting the Bhagavad-Gītā lifestyle, Kṛṣṇa conscious lifestyle. So by studying the pastimes of the Lord, we can understand that the activities of this material world and the spiritual activities of the Lord are completely different, and there is no tinge of material miseries in the pastimes of the Lord. And just by recounting these pastimes of the Lord, one can actually become elevated in spiritual consciousness, right? So there are some people, as Prabhupada mentions here, so-called Swamis, spiritual leaders, they mislead the innocent public by saying that pastimes of God are also miserable, are also like the activities of people in this world. In other words, they also say that why we are suffering now? So they say that actually we are God, but we are suffering, we are going through this suffering because it is our own Leela, our own pastime. But this is simply nonsense. It is not the right understanding. So God never comes under the influence of Maya. He never comes under the influence of laws of nature, and because He's always transcendental. So the pastimes of the Lord are transcendental to the material miseries and sufferings that we are going through. So by performing these pastimes, Krishna is actually calling all of us back home, back to Godhead, to an eternal life of bliss and knowledge. So there we come to the end of the reading session. I hope all of you had a wonderful association with Srila Prabhupada by reading this book, Elevation to Kṛṣṇa Consciousness. Now we will have a short quiz. So based on what we have read just now, before that, let us summarize. There were 4 important questions that we addressed today, that Srila Prabhupada addressed. What are the intellectuals attempting by their plans and designs? They want to overcome the miseries of this world. Secondly, the next question was, why are their plans baffled? Is it accidental? Their plans are baffled because Maya is superior to their so-called childish plans. And it is not accidental. It is all happening according to the superior direction of the Lord. Thirdly, we also discussed what is this illusory material energy. It bewilders us. It keeps us in a state where we don't understand what is reality, right? Illusory material energy. And lastly, we saw what is the way out of suffering. The way out of sufferings is to learn the right way of action from the Bhagavad-Gītā and lead our life according to those instructions. In other words, to become Kṛṣṇa conscious is the only way out of suffering. Let us now have an interactive quiz. I'm going to display the question, and each question will have 30 seconds time for you to answer. You will have to type in your answer on the chat box and personally send it to me. I repeat, it's going to be a chat box answering. You'll type your answer and send it to me personally. All the best. Here's the first out of the 3 questions. The first question. Dash is controlled by this all-powerful illusory energy. The time starts now. You can make use of the picture clue there if you have forgotten. Dash is controlled by this all-powerful illusory energy. I have not received any answers so far. Hurry up.
Prabhu, we should write it.
Yeah, you have to type your answer and send it to me on the. Okay. Kṛṣṇa Mataji has given the right answer. So let's see what is the answer. The answer is the law of karma, or the result of all actions and reactions in this material world, is controlled by the all-powerful illusory energy. Okay, next, second question. Let's move on to the second question. No one can surpass the laws of Durga by any willpower, childish plans, collective effort. Just type A, B, C, or D and send it to me personally. The time starts now. I request the participants to keep muted. Okay. Ashish and Ishan have given the right answer. Others, please do type in A, B, C, or D. And Guru, I'm afraid that's not the right answer. Abhishek, it's not the right answer. Surya Kala Mataji also, it's not the right answer. So, no one can surpass the laws of Durga by any amount of deception, material power, childish plans, collective effort. And the answer is C, childish plans. Childish plans is the right answer. Okay. Now the last question for today. The three miseries of material nature are not found in the dash. Your time starts now. This is something which we discussed towards the end of the session. The three miseries of material nature are not found in the dash. I'm expecting an exact answer that we had just read. It's not the spiritual world, I'm afraid. Many of you are typing. It is correct, but the exact answer that we read just now. I'm afraid nobody could give the right answer. It was very simple. The answer is the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The three miseries of material nature are not found in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So there we come to the end of the quiz. Now let's chant one round, 3 times Hare Krishna Maha Mantra together. First we will chant the Panchatattva mantra once. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We will chant the Hare Krishna mantra 3 times together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Chant Hare Krishna mantra every day, at least one mala. And now towards the end of the session, request you to please give your valuable feedback by visiting the link which is being displayed on the screen. Thank you all for giving your wonderful time and being part of the session. We shall meet again in the next session. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.